Ladies and gentlemen, in my capacity as a chair of the Parliament of the Republic of Azerbaijan, I am on an official visit to the Federal Republic of Germany. This visit is yet another testament of high-level relationship that exists between our countries. Last year, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations between Germany and Azerbaijan. The past period has been marked by active and fruitful cooperation in different spheres. There is a constant political dialogue between our countries. Only this year, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mr. Ilham Aliyev, paid 2 visits to Germany. It was mentioned here. His meetings with President Mr. Frank-Walter Steinmeier and Chancellor Mr. Olaf Scholz were important in terms of discussions on existing relations and opportunities to further strengthen them. Dear friends, for many years, our countries have enjoyed mutually beneficial cooperation in many fields. Germany has been one of the main trading partners of Azerbaijan. On the other hand, trade with Azerbaijan makes up to 70% in Germany's overall trade with the South Caucasus countries. German companies successfully operate in Azerbaijan, and there are even more opportunities for further diversification and enhancing of mutual activities in various fields. Cooperation in the spheres of education, science, and culture plays an important role in strengthening our people-to-people contacts and promoting mutual understanding. Historical and cultural heritage of German migrants who settled in Azerbaijan in the early 19th century constitutes a solid foundation for current relations. This heritage is protected and promoted at the state level. In line with the order of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, the 200th anniversary of the establishment of German settlements in Azerbaijan was celebrated with a large number of events in Azerbaijan and Germany in 2017. Activities of the Azerbaijan Cultural Center in Berlin and the German-Azerbaijani Cultural Union in Baku bring our people even closer. Taking this opportunity, I would like to thank members of the German-Azerbaijani Forum for their tireless efforts in supporting enhancement of relations between our countries. Interaction of our parliaments is another important influence on bilateral and multilateral relations. There is no doubt that reciprocal visits, meetings, and contacts have only positive effect and give important impetus to the further development of our cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, we parliamentarians represent our people, independent Azerbaijani people. Nowadays, Azerbaijan is a successful inheritor of ancient traditions of statehood of our people. Based on these traditions, the people of Azerbaijan established the first democratic parliamentary republic in the Muslim East in 1918. Azerbaijan Democratic Republic undertook important measures, such as granting all citizens the same rights without racial, ethnic, religious discrimination, and giving women the right to vote for the first time in the Muslim East, and long before some European countries. Unfortunately, Azerbaijan Democratic Republic lasted only 23 months, and as you know, in 1920, Bolsheviks occupied Azerbaijan. In 1991, Azerbaijan was able to restore its independence, which marked the beginning of a new era in the history of our country. The national leader of the Azerbaijani people, Heydar Aliyev, whose 100th anniversary we celebrate this year, played a crucial role in protecting our independence from internal and external threats and in development of modern statehood. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last 20 years, Azerbaijan has achieved a significant economic progress. GDP has grown by 4 times. Budget revenues have increased by 30 times, and foreign trade turnover by more than 10 times. The poverty level has dropped from 50 to 5.5%. $310 billion have been invested in Azerbaijan in the last 20 years, nearly 200 billion of it being invested in the non-oil sector of economy. Dear friends, today Azerbaijan is an active and responsible member of international community. total respect to the norms and principles of international law, promotion of dialogue, solidarity and cooperation, acting as a reliable partner on the basis of mutual trust have been key elements of strategic vision set by President Ilham Aliyev. They can be clearly observed in a number of instances, such as Azerbaijan's activities as non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the term 2012 and 2013, initiatives as the chair of the non-aligned movement, implementation of energy projects that make significant contribution to energy security of Europe, and transport projects that link East and West. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe you are well informed about history of the 30-year-long occupation of Azerbaijan's territories by Armenia. Let me say that despite being the victim of occupation, Azerbaijan has made enormous efforts to ensure long-term peace in our region by proposing to Armenia signing of a peace agreement on the basis of 5 principles of international law after the 44-day patriotic war of 2020. Armenia's political and military provocations, non-compliance with its obligation in the last 3 years, continued support for the illegal separatist regime created in our territories made the conduct of anti-terror measures in the Karabakh region of Azerbaijan inevitable. Ladies and gentlemen, as a result of these measures, the separatist regime dissolved itself and Azerbaijan restored its sovereignty. And it is important to mention that these measures were fully in line with international law without any casualties among civilians. Dear friends, 3 years ago, immediately after the end of the patriotic war, Azerbaijan has started large-scale restoration and reconstruction works in the liberated territories. New cities and villages are being built from scratch. Former IDPs have already started to return back to their homes. In line with the Great Return Program, over 140,000 people will return to Karabakh and East Zangezur by the end of 2026. Unfortunately, more than 1 million mines planted by Armenia in these territories during the years of occupation slowed down the reconstruction works and the return of former IDPs. Since the end of the war in 2020, more than 340 Azerbaijanis became victims of mine explosions. Despite being of the most heavily mined countries in the world, Azerbaijan gets the least international support in demining activities. In this context, we highly appreciate the German government decision to support Azerbaijan's humanitarian demining efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, today there are no longer any obstacles to signing a peace agreement between Azerbaijan and Armenia. Despite all the sufferings that have fallen on us, Azerbaijan is ready for peace. And as said by the President Ilham Aliyev, it should be the just peace, the peace based on recognition of territorial integrity and sovereignty of both countries. Such peace is the only way to achieve stability, development, and cooperation. Dear friends, concluding my speech, I would like to once again express my delight of being with you today and wish you success in all your future activities. Thank you very much.